Good morning, welcome to Tristardiggin. I appreciate you joining us today. This is day 5, I think it is. It'll be the 3rd video, and then from this job site where I'm at, where I'm clearing a house site and getting ready to clear off the area where I've cleared, and then I'm going to dig a basement for this property. So what you see behind me, it came from the first 2 videos, and that pile of wood there, you know, it's that high, and it's probably, I don't know, it's probably 30 yards deep. All that wood that came from there, and then some massive stumps that I dug out of the ground and cut those trees down. Some of the trees I had to stump cut. The stumps are still in the ground because that's where the septic system's going to go. You can't dig out stumps in that area. But these are some of the stumps that I did dig out, and that's the biggest one, and that is absolute monster right there. If you hadn't caught those first 2 videos, you want to watch that to see where we are for now. But today's project is, like I mentioned, to clear off the area that I've taken the trees out and dig a basement. So let's walk up here where the machines are and take a look at that. This is the area where I cleared, and the excavator, the Cat 313, is sitting right in the middle of where the basement's going to be. And this house is 24 wide and 64 feet long that way. So what we've got to do is, on this back corner, we're going to daylight that out, and the grade's probably going to be down in there somewhere, so they can have some basement access out from that. And this end right here is going to be a garage area, 2-car garage going in. Got the dozer warming up already because I'm going to use it first. And what I'm going to do is, I actually started yesterday. You can see the difference between this side and this side. This has already been bladed off, get all that junk material down there in the pile, and it's going to go across the road. Let me climb up on the 313 here and give you a bird's eye view of the property, what it looks like. Okay, so from up here, you can get a better idea of the perimeter of trees that I cleared out in order to put this home site in here. And what I'll do here in just a minute is take a drone fly up in there and cover this right quick, so you can see from the perspective of the air how big area this is that I cleared. And it was bad. I mean, it was all like that right over there. So the 313 and the D5 did an excellent job of getting this to where it is now. So let's keep going. So we're making some good progress now, and you can see what I'm doing. I gave you different angles on the dozer there, kind of give you an idea of how it looks and how I'm doing it. And if you see these earbuds in my ears, I'm listening to some good old bluegrass music. I wish I could let y'all listen to it and put it on the video, but I'd get a copyright violation for that. But anyway, I found a good bluegrass station on the internet. It's bluegrassjamboree.com. If you enjoy bluegrass, that's a good station. You can click on it on the internet and listen to it while you're working or whatever. But anyway, it's good stuff. Time for an update now. I got all that area dressed up, as you can see, and the back side and the far side of that looks the same as this does. I had all that junk dirt and roots and all that stuff right here. I now have that over here on this side of the road and kind of ramped up on that pile. I'll dress it up a little bit more and kind of camouflage that pile of material in there, just kind of dress that up a little bit. Got the road somewhat fixed, and probably be bringing the skid steer back at some point and kind of dressing up areas like this, but that you could put rock on that right now and be fine. I'm gonna grab a little bite to eat, and then we'll get the excavator set up and the laser set up to dig that basement. Start digging now, and I've got the laser set up right there, and took some measurements, and right there is the highest point on the back wall, so that's going to be my benchmark. Now I go in here to the grade control system, hit that button right there, and what I want to do is set my benchmark, so I hit benchmark set. You heard that beep, and that lets me know that that's been set. Now then, I want to do a 6-foot offset from my benchmark, so I go in here and I'm going to clear that. So we want a -6 foot, so I'll go in here and hit the 6 and hit these zeros until we get to 6 foot at the top, and we want a negative, so I'll hit that button right there and that'll give us a -6. That is a -6 offset from that benchmark. Something about that laser catcher beeping at me. Let me figure out how to turn that off. The first part of that dugout now on time lapse. I got that dug in. Let's take a look down here at the other side of it, what it looks like, and then we will look at digging the rest of it out. I'm going to dig that leg out going that way, and once I get that done, I get in here and really start slinging some dirt where I'm not having to be real precise cutting a line. I'll bring y'all back and we'll get this cleaned out of here. Time for a little update now, and this is the 313's first basement since I've had it, and it will flat make a hole in the ground in a hurry. That is impressive, how much dirt I've moved in just a short time. Wish I'd have checked the time when I started, but I didn't. But I have got a big pile of dirt, and that's probably 3/4 of it, because it tapers down as I'm going backwards. So I still gotta get that wad of dirt out right there and throw it out to the side, and get this ready for get this roughed in, get the rough grade set. Get that rough grade set because tomorrow SciTech is coming, and they're going to go over setting up the dozer for the 2D grade control system, and we'll have that dozer in the hole, and we'll be cutting grade with that new system. And I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a game changer as far as speeding up the production and efficiency of that dozer. So I'm excited to see how that works, and I think it's going to do a great job. So I think what I'll do now is stick y'all down here in the hole on some time lapse and watch hogging some more of that dirt out, and be back in a little bit. Got it cut in, got all the dirt out of it, rough cut, and I'll come in here tomorrow, take a dozer and get all that dirt out of the way down through there. And this dirt on this side, I'm gonna push it back and pile it up, because I'll use this as backfill dirt against the basement wall when the house is ready to be backfilled. Well, I hope you enjoyed that for today. I will be back in the morning, and see y'all then. All right, I got the dozer warming up, and I'm back to try to get this basement job well underway again. I didn't get to work, I did most of this work Wednesday. I'm digging the basement. I didn't get to work Thursday and Friday because of all the rain, and then it came a big rain last night as well, and this ground is wet. It's hard to tell, I guess, but you can see the shine on the ground there. The ground's wet, but I've got to get this dirt pile moved. This is the dirt that I dug out of the basement there. This has got to get moved over to a low area there and filled in, because I need to daylight the rest of this basement out on this side and get this thing ready to cut down on grade tomorrow. Okay, as you saw from that little bit of drone video there, I was a bit optimistic on being able to move this dirt. That stuff's like moving soup, and that's not gonna work. So even if I do get it down there where it's supposed to go, you can't pack it in. It's just soup. You can't do anything with it. I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get the 313 fired up. I'm gonna come around to the back side of the pile and see if I can dig down in that and find any dry material down in it. If I can start pushing that dry material down there and get it in place, and while this soupy stuff dries out a little bit. That's the only thing I can think of at the moment. I really need to work today to get this going, but conditions aren't the best. Well, there's how much rain we had. Let's see what we can find. That is nothing but mud. Watch this. Plop. Well, there's some drier stuff. Okay, let's dig some of this out here, and then I'll bring you back when I start pushing on it some. Time for a little update now. I've been pushing dirt for several hours now. This is where that big dirt pile was this morning. You saw from the drone flight, I tried to climb up on it, started to get a place to push off of it, tried to go around it, get a place to get started. All that didn't work too well until I got the excavator. You saw that, started pulling it back. Anyway, all that's gone now. It's pushed down there where it's supposed to be. And what I want to do now is go ahead and dig out this, daylight out this half of this basement now. I got the laser set up over there, got the 313 ready to go, got my mark made. Got about an hour and a half, 2 hours left in today's day. So I want to go ahead and get this dug out as much as I can to get ready to start putting this on grade in the morning. And I think I can probably get it done in that amount of time. I'll get to work on that and get that dug out, and I'm just going to throw the dirt out of the way for now just to get it dug out, and then I'll deal with that dirt like I did with that this morning, get it out of the way. Okay, well, I made it back this morning, and it's bad news. Overnight and this morning, it absolutely comes some tremendous thunderstorms come through here and really soaked the place. Obviously, you can see water standing in that mud puddle there. We'll walk up here to the pad and take a look at it. It is wet, and the clay has absorbed water. But the plan is, I talked to Blake at SciTech, the sales rep and tech guy, and I think we can grade enough of the pad so I can learn how to use the system today, and that way when it's dry tomorrow I can put the finish grade on it and get this job hopefully finished tomorrow. So I'm going to go down here and put the system, the mast on the dozer, and put the laser catchers on it and get everything wired up and get ready for him when he gets here, and we'll see what we can do. These are the masts, and they go on the corners of the blade, and they're a little bit heavy, but one person can handle it fairly well. In the previous video, somebody had asked me what these were that were welded onto the blade. This machine that I bought was a leased machine, and it was leased and put 2,000 hours on it. So the company, what I'm thinking is that the company that bought this used this machine a lot for grading, and that's why they built these catwalks on there. It's so that the operator can be a lot safer standing on these catwalks, putting this equipment on and off. Another thing that tipped me off that it was a machine that's used for a lot for grade control is, I don't know if you can see it, these swipes right here on the front. That's where cables have rubbed on this machine a lot. So I wasn't too scared about buying this machine. Obviously it had been gone through by Cat, But just from seeing the catwalks on there and the rub marks on the nose of the machine, this machine, its first 2,000 hours, spent a tremendous amount of time grading and not doing rough work. So I was pretty excited to see those things to kind of help me make a decision to buy this one. All right, let me get down here and find the bolts, and we will get these bolted on. Okay, I got that one bolted on now, and we'll go over there and repeat the process, get that one on, and then we'll set the laser catchers on top of those poles. All right, let's get these laser catchers out of the box and get them put on the poles. These have a little washer up here on top of this pole. This laser catcher just slides down to that point and stops. And then you just tighten it down. And then on the bottom of it, where it plugs into the motor, the brain, or whatever it's called, we got these cables. They come up here to the bottom and plug in. And we got these two big cables. These two big cables run from the base of the controller there up here to the input location on the dozer. That clipped in. Get the other one put on now. If they do. Alrighty, that's going to take care of it. I got the poles on, got the laser catchers on, got the cables hooked up, so we should be ready to go for training now on this thing. And that's going to be great. Let's go in the cab now, turn the key switch on, and see if we can get this thing to fire up and see if it acknowledges these towers. All right, here we go. All right, that says initializing sensors, ensure that the machine is not moving, raise and lower the blade until the alert is resolved. Okay, let's do that. All right, that is resolved. It says good, so let's hit the start button. And there's the screen. It looks like that everything is hooked up the way it's supposed to be. And then in just a few minutes when Blake gets here, we'll go over how this all works. All right, that's pretty exciting to have all that hooked up and ready to try this out. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and that day is here. And hopefully this thing's gonna work real good for us. And it's gonna speed up jobs, make them more efficient. These pads are gonna be dead level. Even if I've got some hard places, this machine will make sure that that pad is on grade when I get finished. Slope assist, it does okay, but nothing compared to what this thing does. So stand by, we'll be back in just a minute. All right, so we are here and have the laser set up, have the mask set up good now on the dozer, and everything's dialed in. So Blake Presley has gotten here, and he's showing me how to run the system. Several of you have commented and asked questions about the Trimble Earthworks system, and I've referred you to Blake, so that's who that is. Blake is standing here beside me. And Blake, tell us where you are from and the company you work for.
So I grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee. Went to University of Tennessee for engineering. I've been with the same ownership now for a little over 17 years. I've been doing the technology since '08. When they formed our Site Tech, I moved over there, so I've been with Site Tech now over right at 13 years, I believe it is now.
Yeah.
And what we're doing today is we're going to go over the Trimble Earthworks system for dual laser on your D5K today. So over on the hill, we've got your laser set up. We've got it set up just on level, like we're going to do a virtual level pad here. And we're going to use electric mast. We use electric mast on dozers for a lot of reasons. One of the big reasons is these will extend up in the air automatically and get the laser receivers above the cab of the machine. So when you're in a big pad situation like a warehouse or a chicken house or something like that, it lets you go to and from the laser. You're not always having to go that one direction.
The cab's not blocking the laser.
Exactly. You don't have any interference between them. The other thing it does for you is it gives you a bigger window to work up and down. So if you're putting material in lifts, so if I'm going to clip the subgrade off, then I need to do 2 lifts of stone compacted, then I can bump up and do a 4-inch lift compacted. I may have to put it down loose at say 5 or 6 inches of stone to roll down to 4, and then do another lift without having to reset up the laser 2 or 3 times.
Right.
So when we set these things up, it really doesn't matter which side or which mast or receiver you put on which side. What matters is where you plug them in. So what Sam had done before I got here today is hook the left side of the machine into the left side quick disconnect here, and also the right is in the right side. The third one here you see is for the sensors on the back of the blade.
Yep. And I wish that would come off when I get this taken off.
We'll go over that in a few minutes.
Okay.
All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna get Sam in the cab of the machine. We're gonna start it up. All right, so now we're in the machine. We've keyed on, and to keep it quiet in here for help you guys hear, what we're gonna do is just do this without the engine running. So this display has come on. This is basically an Android tablet. He swiped the screen to unlock it. We're gonna hit cat grade to start the program. The next screen you see it come to, it's gonna ask you for an operator, and these systems are configurable for however many operators you have on site. So for now, since it's just Sam, we're gonna set it up for him. Actually, we will have to start it up because we'll have to initialize the sensors.
Okay.
All right, so now we gotta lift and lower the blade. That's going to initialize the sensors. So as you can see here, the light has gone off. So he's going to start the program. Now we're in here to the program. So traditionally what we had done is go in, and I would encourage the operator to level the blade as best you could on the material or on the bench height that you're wanting to use. So I'm going to get Sam to level the blade here, and what you're looking at is the live blade slope here. We're going to get that as close to 0 as we can, and then the system itself is going to level out the rest of it. It's going to compensate for that. All right. So out here on the back of the receivers, you can see they're lit up, and they're flashing. And they're flashing real slow right now. So what we'll do is we'll hop in the machine now, and Sam's going to bench the laser. So Sam, let's touch one of those blue buttons there. All right, now show it, folks, what's happening here. So what's happening now is the laser catcher's going up. See, it's flashing differently now. It's going solid. It's found the laser beam. Now the other side's going up. Now that's found the laser beam. When we come back in here to the screen, now we've got a cut and fill of 0, 0, and Sam's ready to go to work. So when we pan over here, Sam, to the back of your joystick handle, this is the standard kind of cat joystick handle with a yellow button and 2 black buttons. The yellow button is your auto on and off, and then your 2 black buttons are for vertical offsets. So we've configured Sam's machine to every time we push an offset, so this would be up. Now we have done an offset of 1/2 inch up from the grade we established in on. You can see over here our offset has gone up 1/2 tenth. And if we pan up here and watch the mast hit a few more times, Sam, you'll see that the laser catchers are going up automatically in 1/2 inch increments for every time he hits it. So when we come back in here now, it's saying a 2.5 inch offset, and now we need to cut 2.5 inches. And then just like with all the other Trimble Earthworks screens, to manipulate the screen, I take 2 fingers, I can swipe it. This will be a 3D view, so if we were running a 3D GNSS or robotic UTS, we would see us on the job underneath here. This is a cross-section view. I can zoom in and zoom out on what the blade is doing. And then this is a side profile view. Then I have cut and fill the right blade tip and cut and fill the left blade tip. So at this point, I would just have Sam go out there and start running, but also today it's a little too wet to be doing it.
Why are we running today?
Yeah, I think it's from the monsoons we've had here the last couple of days. We have been blessed with the rain this year, that's for sure.
All right, so that's kind of an overview of the Trimble system on the dozer. You've seen me using that quite a bit on the 304, and I've done a lot of videos where I've used Trimble on 304. And then the 313, I've demoed that a few times. That is an integrated system that Cat put on the 313. So in future videos, because it's so wet today, I'm not going to be doing any cutting. But tomorrow when I come back, hopefully it'll be dry enough, we'll actually put this in use. But if you're interested in the Trimble Earthworks and more information on it, I will put Blake's information on the screen, how you can reach him. And what areas do you cover?
So I typically cover just the East Tennessee territory. I've got 38 counties in East Tennessee. Our company covers East Tennessee, all of Kentucky, West Virginia, Southern Indiana, and a few counties in Ohio. But there are site techs all over North America. And if you're not around East Tennessee and would like to get in touch with somebody from Trimble, I'll be glad to put you in touch with my buddies that work at the other site techs all across. I got good friends in Arkansas and South Florida and Indiana and just all over the place. So if we can help you out, we would love to do it. And if you're outside our area, I'll be glad to put you in touch with folks that can.
All right, there you go. That's hot off the press, that information there. And if you still see smoke coming out of my ears, it's because I'm trying to digest all this information he gave me here this morning. But it's going to take seat time. It's going to take working this thing for a little while and getting used to the settings on it. So I hope you enjoyed that little part. I'll be back tomorrow and we'll start pushing this. All right, well, I'm back. It's not the next day or the next morning. It's only about an hour and a half after I logged off that last time. And I've been here a little while pushing some of this dirt back. Now I've got the house site cleaned out all the way around it where construction can take place. Got all that dirt moved back. I got thinking about this grade control system and trying it out. I just can't stand it any longer. It's still a little bit wet, damp, but I'm gonna give this thing a shot and try it out and see how it works. So what I'm gonna do to start out with, this is the daylight out area that I talked about earlier in the video. This is the basement area. That's the daylight out area. So if I mess anything up over there, I can fix it relatively easy. I don't expect to mess anything up necessarily, but this is where I'm going to kind of learn this machine at, over here in this area. And that is rough. Rough grade yesterday from where I took that out with the 313. What I'm going to do is, I've got the laser set up here on the bank so that it's high enough above the machine so that the laser catchers can catch it and the cab won't be in the way. Next thing I'm going to do is, I've got my laser receiver on this stick, is I'm going to raise this up in the air until I hit that laser beam right there. And that lets me know that those laser catchers will go up about 2 feet in the air before they hit that. That way they're not going so far up in the air that they're flopping around real bad. So now then, I know that my laser is broadcasting about 2 feet above that. So let's see if we can get this thing going. So the first thing it wants you to do is hit this acknowledge button and raise the blade up so that it can calibrate itself, or the sensors can work or something. So anyway, let's raise that blade up and get that to clear itself. All right, it did. Then hit the start button. Now then, what it's asking for is a benchmark. What I want to do is lower that blade now to where I want my grade to be on this particular part of the pad, and that looks about right. So as Blake mentioned, I want to make sure that that part right there is showing level. So I got to move my blade a little bit to the right to get that level, and that is a very touchy thing to try to do. Of course, he said it'll do some correction too. All right, we're at level. That's my benchmark. That's what I want. So what we do now is we touch these benchmarks right here, and what that's doing is raising that laser up. You can see that going up in the air, and when it gets to that laser beam, it will stop, and there it is. Okay, and now then this one will automatically start moving up till it finds the laser beam. Got it. All right, so that one is is raised up. Now then, the benchmark is set where that blade is level and those laser catchers are in place. Now then, we see this is our grade, this green line, and this is our blade is on grade. So yep, that's pretty much it. And supposedly, all we do now is hit this yellow button. When I hit that, it's going to go auto. And now then, when I start to move, engage the gear, it will drop that blade where it is, and we should start pushing dirt on a level plane up through there. Man, it took too much of bite for the first time. Let's take that off of auto and go ahead and push some of this material out. But it's telling me if I'm pretty close to grade or not. Get some of this pushed out, and then we'll come through there with a few passes on grade. This is pretty neat. Something I just figured out is that if it's not in auto and in manual, it's still showing you where grade is. So it's showing you this one right here is 3 inches high on this left corner, and this over here is 1.7 inches high on the right corner. So you can run this manually and just watch your screen and work the blade. If you're just trying to hog out some material, you know you're getting close. Once you get close, it looks like that you can come back, hit the automatics, and drop it down and put your final pass on it. So let's do that for a minute. I'm gonna hog out some dirt, but use the manual, and then we'll lock it in on the automatics and do some final passes. Okay, I've been working on that a little bit now, and I've got most of that material hogged out of there, and I've got it 2.5 inches above grade. I've got an offset set in there to do that. What I'm going to come in here and do now is set this down on grade, and I'm going to start windrolling this material over there to the side and get all that cut off. And as I make passes through here, that'll be putting it on grade and moving that grade across the pad. And I can already tell you, just from the few minutes here, maybe 15 or 20 minutes that I've been running this, trying to figure it out, I love it. This is nice. When you get used to it and you really know how to work it, it's really going to speed up things, and I am looking forward to that. I'm going to put you on the tripod here while I try to work this out, get this on grade and windrolling that material off here. And then the test comes, we're going to get the grade rod out, run the grade rod down through there and see how it works. Much of that y'all saw. I went to the camera and it was dead. I don't know if it got too hot or battery died or what, but I now have that bladed off and on grade. And let's check it with the laser and see how it looks. The laser's way up there because you see where I had to put the laser sending out the signal, because you know it has to be high enough for the dozer. Anyway, it's way up there. Let's walk out here and check a few more spots. All right, that spot right there was probably a few little spots, might have been a 1/2 inch low. But with those rocks, that's just a 1/4 inch high. That's a 1/4 inch low. And with those rocks like that, driving that blade up and down, you know, you can expect that. We're gonna run this thing again tomorrow on this basement part of it, now that I got an idea how to use it. And I can tell you right now, I already love it. And if you've got a dozer and you're doing much grade work at all, this is something you probably want to look into. I know there's folks out there that can do it without it and are really good, but that's not me. And this is really going to change the way that I build pads, and the accuracy and the speed and the efficiency that you can do it in is amazing. So, and there's folks that have been running this technology for years and thinking no big deal. You know, I've been doing that for a long time. Again, not me. I just now started doing it, and I absolutely love it. So I will see y'all in the morning. Good morning. I have made it back to the job site, and today is the day we're going to clip off this basement pad and get this thing on grade using a new 2D grade system. I am excited and looking forward to that. I learned it as you saw yesterday in the video. So today we're going to finish off this pad and get that going. It is going to be an absolutely beautiful day today. This is mid-August, and I think the high is in like 85, 86, and very low humidity. And no rain for the next 6 days. So, well, that's what they say anyway. So we should be able to get a lot of work done in the next week, and I am looking forward to getting that done and kind of getting caught back up on the schedule. Anyway, let's get started on this. I've got the laser set up here on top of the hill, and I've got to get the benchmark set on the dozer, and then we're going to start cutting this. This is going absolutely great. Made a few passes there, and I'm within a 1/2 inch of grade, other than just cleaning off the loose material on this. What I have learned, I don't know if you can see it or not, but when you're coming off of a transition, a high point, and you're trying to get this down on grade, because I can't back up any farther and I can't cut all the way through, when that dozer's coming off and that blade goes down to hit grade, you have to really go slow as that tractor comes off of that bench, so to say, and gets back down here, because the blade has to have time to move up and down. I'm sure there's a speed control on it that raises it faster and lower, but for now I'm just trying to learn it, and so you really have to be slow coming off that little shelf, or if you don't, you'll gouge, and then you'll have a high spot, and then you'll gouge again if you're not going slow enough. So that's what I'm trying to do, and that's what I'm trying to figure out right here. That's why I'm going so slow coming off this little shelf. I got the most of that dirt out in the back of the basement now, and when I come back with the skid steer and the Mini X to dig the footers, I will get the back of that cleaned up so I can have a level place to dig my footers. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go down here to the truck, take the mast and the laser catchers off, because I got some rough grading to do. I gotta clean up all this dirt that I pushed out of the basement, and then all this dirt up here on this other side. But I'll get all this dressed up, and I'll bring you back for a final look at the project here, and then we'll have this. Okay, I've been pushing dirt around for a little while now, and pretty much got all those dirt piles knocked down except for the one up here where I'm saving for a backfill when the house is done. But we'll take a look around now and see what it's looking like. This is the back end of the house, and this will be a 2-car garage going into here. This is all that big dirt pile here on the side now. I got that dressed up now for a yard, and that daylighted out. Basement area, got that daylighted out nice now, and pulled all the dirt away back from the edges of the basement wall. That way dirt's not falling in there while they're trying to work. And then this is the top side look of it, and all that area down through there is dressed up now. Take a walk around here to the back side of the house. Now, this is the front side of the house, and it faces the river. You really can't see it right now for all the trees and the leaves, but when all those leaves are gone during the winter time, fall, winter, early spring, that's going to be a beautiful view back that way. And then this is the back side of the house area. All that dirt that was here, I got all that dressed up now and transitioned down into that where that old brush pile is. And this is the back side here of the house. That turned out pretty nice. Took all the dirt, the spoils, and put down in here and built that up. And here's a good side angle of the house. That yard sloped off to the left there, and we're going to be looking into the back part of the house right here. And that's a walk around what it looks like now. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to do a drone flight. I'll fly over the work area here, and I'll take a drone flight around. I'll do that as well. And you know, when we talked about 2D grade control and 3D GPS grade control, but stick around for the message. I'm going to tell you about another GPS that's very important, and it's one that can have a great impact in your life. So stick around for that, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, I appreciate you sticking around for the message, and I hope you enjoyed that video of the digging that basement and kind of showing what 2D grade control can do. And you're going to see that a lot more in the future videos, because I'm going to use that a lot, hopefully. And I kind of referenced in the title, is it worth it, for the 2D grade system. The technology package on the 313 came with that machine, but I added it to the dozer, the D5, and I also added it to the 304. And I say yes, absolutely, it's worth it. For an operator like me that's by himself all the time, I never once had to get out of the machine to check grade when I was cutting that pad down. You know, that's very helpful for somebody that's worked by themselves like me. And I also referenced a GPS system in the video there. So mine's 2D grade control. Also, there's GPS 3D systems available, and so those are helpful too. But the GPS that I want to talk to you about is a GPS that will absolutely change your life. And that GPS is this: it's God's plan of salvation. God's plan of salvation is written in His Word, revealed to us by His Holy Spirit. So we have the ability to know Him and to believe in Him and trust Him according to what His Word says. His plan of salvation. You know, it was decided long before the world was ever created that God would know that His creation, us, His people, would sin and walk away, and that He would provide a way, that He had a plan to redeem us and to make us whole. Matter of fact, it references that in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4, and it says this. It says, He chose us in Him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before Him in love. Saying that before the foundation of the world, God knew that He would redeem us, that He would provide a way for us to be saved, to be saved from our sins, and to be reconciled, restored to that relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. And that's also referenced and spoken of in John 3:16, where it says, For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. That is the GPS. That is God's plan of salvation. Through His Son, Jesus Christ, because of the sacrifice He made, we can have the forgiveness of our sins. You know, the GPS systems that we've got in our cars and on our phones today, we can hit that GPS system, take us anywhere in the world, really. And when we get to where we're going and we get ready to come home, if you've got it programmed right, you can hit that home button and it'll pull up your address and it will take you home. But that's in a worldly aspect, in a worldly way. And you know, these GPS systems are good, but they'll oftentimes take you down a winding side road that you never really wanted to be on. And that's the way life is today. If you're trusting in the world system, if you're trusting in this life to get you where you're going, then your trust is amiss, because this world system will take you down some dirt roads and some back roads and some curvy roads that are not pleasant to be on once you get on them. And so here's the thing about it. If you will press into the GPS that God has in store for you, this GPS will take you home, to your eternal home. Jesus told the disciples, I'm going away, and if I go away, I'll come back again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also. Jesus telling the disciples that he was going away to prepare a home for them, a place for them. That's the home eternal in heaven. So if you press into the GPS that God has in store for you in your life, it will take you home to an eternal home, a home, the Bible would say, a house not made with hands, and a home where there's no more death, there's no more pain, and no more suffering. Why wouldn't you want that? Why wouldn't you want that desire in your heart to know that your home is eternal in the heavens? You can have that through His Word, God's GPS. I hope that you're a believer in Jesus Christ. I hope that you're trusting in Him today. And if you're not, I hope you do that soon. Understand and know this life is, the Bible would say this life is but a vapor. It's here for just a little while. Have you made preparations for your eternal home? God bless you, and I appreciate you watching.